Hi, ich begrüße euch alle ganz herzlich heute zum zweiten Tag bei der T4AT Teams auf dem Track Digital Workplace with Atlassian. Wir haben wieder tolle Speaker heute, also schön, dass ihr eingeschaltet habt. Für den ersten Vortrag begrüße ich ganz besonders die Christine Heitmann und den Lukas Landwehr. Die haben ein Video vorbereitet, was ihr gleich sehen könnt. Christine Heitmann ist seit Mai 2021 Teamlead bei toom. Sie unterstützt da mit einem Team von Coaches, aktuell 17 Teams bei der agilen Transformation. Und Lukas Landwehr auch bei toom, Teamlead, Principal Engineer und verantwortlich für rund 30 DevOps-Engineers seit April 2020. Und die werden heute darüber sprechen, wie sie bei toom Agile Hive eingeführt haben, mit dem Titel Respect for those who do it agile. Ich bin sehr, sehr gespannt auf den Vortrag. Dann kann es auch schon losgehen. Ich freue mich auf die beiden.
Hello Christine, hello Lukas. Thank you for having us today here at toom, one of the largest hardware store chains in Germany. And today you would like to talk about your agile transformation at scale using SAFe, implementing SAFe with Agile Hive. I'm very interested to hear what you have to tell us. But first of all, maybe you guys would like to introduce yourself, introduce the company a little bit, and let us know what your roles were in the agile transformation.
Sure. Thank you for inviting us, and thanks for coming here to Köln. Well, I will start. My name is Christine. I'm part of toom since May this year. I'm leading the team of the team coaches, and together with the 7 team coaches here at toom in the IT department, we are driving the digital or agile transformation. Before toom, I've been working for an IT consultancy, also accompanying big agile transformations, but always with the perspective or with the focus on organization change management and on the people topics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my name is Lukas. I'm 30 years old and I'm part of toom for 4 years. I'm responsible for our DevOps engineers, or a part of our DevOps engineers in our agile product teams. Some topics like the technology strategy or things how the program increment planning or tech days, also things are also topics of my responsible area.
Right, well, thank you.
Then I would say let us give you and the entire team some insights about toom, our big market, as well as the IT. So toom is, as most of you probably know, is part of the Rewe Group since more than 20 years. I think since 1998. So it was founded in 1978, but for a long time now it's part of the Rewe Group. We have in total in Germany, it's a German market or do-it-yourself market. In Germany we have over 330 stores, so it's quite big. Wow. With the other players, Bauhaus and Obi and Hornbach, but I would say then we can finally really call toom to be part of this industry or industry leaders. We have in total, so all toom employees are in total about 14,000 to 15,000 people. Of course, we in the headquarters, in the central office, are only a very minor part of it. We are about 1,000 people that are sitting here in Cologne, and we with the IT are I would say 100 to 150 people organizing the IT back office, which is then divided into a DevOps part. We're really focusing on the development of our systems, and on the other side, we have the operations team and the team that is, we say, keeping the light on, taking care of the entire business in the market so that everything there is working.
Mm-hmm. Respect for those who do it themselves. That's a translation of your German motto of your organization, but that's also true for the transformation that took place and how you coped with the transformation. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about how it came for you to choose SAFe to scale your agile processes, and how you went about the implementation of SAFe. And maybe also you can tell us a little bit about, did you really do all of it yourself, or did you have any external help?
Yeah, I think the starting point for all is that the entire retail industry is very dynamic and changing dramatically. I think the keyword for our industry as well as other industries is VUCA, or the VUCA world. VUCA ends a strong momentum in the market. Was the starting point for our agile transformation journey in 2019. And from mid-2019, we started with discussions about our organizational structure, teams, mindset, digital leadership, delivery process, and the integration in the whole organization. And key discussion points in our first meetings were throughput, so things, we made a coin game against the gamification approach, so things like culture or change management, where we said, so that's very important things where we have to discuss at the beginning. And in the next steps, we defined the new organizational structure with the separation of powers as a basis. So maybe you know it from Scrum or other agile frameworks. So where you have the separation of powers between the Scrum Master, product owner, and the team or DevOps team, development team. And we have also a separation of powers. Not the same, but it's similar. Yes, and so that's the basis for all new organizational structure. And so the next steps are new organizational chart, processes, new roles, etc. And we went into further processing with building blocks and compasses. That was the names we identify. Building blocks are so things like road mapping, products, domain-oriented or capability-oriented products. It's the culture, the mindset, tech culture, and technology focus, and so things. That was all building blocks. And we did it all in compasses, and compasses are like workshops. Very easy. And one building block revolved around the topic of road mapping. And the road mapping was the initial topic for SAFe and for the PI planning. With the road mapping should be, or the road mapping process should be a process where we linking the strategic planning with operational planning. So the planning from the business, from large projects, from a time horizon of 1 year or 6 months, 1 year to operational planning in the teams. So time horizons like 2 or 4 weeks.
It was a big movement, yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, a company like this.
Yeah.
Did you have any external help or respect to do it yourself?
Yeah, at toom we say Respekt wer selber macht in German. We had some support, but no
consultancy. So that was really, I think we're still in a steady exchange with experts, and of course, exactly as an event here as today, we are trying to talk to people who do similar, or who have gone through a similar transformation as we do. But that was something for me, and I'm not here for a very long time. That was, I think, something I'm really still very impressed of, and also proud to see that this entire transformation was really driven by the IT and by the people, and not by a bus of consultants, as we always say. Yes.
Yeah, we had one expert who supports us, but no supporting in the boat way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great, interesting. Very respect for the situation. I'm sure you didn't have a boring time.
No.
No, I haven't been part of it, but that's, the result that we can see today is really impressive, and something, as I just can say it again, what we're really proud of.
So what does your organizational structure look like today, and how was it before? So what really did you improve? And was there any real steps during your transformation that you took? What was the process?
Yeah, I think the result that we can see today, our Agile organizational structure now, is really building on, as you already said, on a few really important boxes. I think one of them is that we have a portfolio project management established, not only in the IT but in the entire toom organization. What means that if we get requirements from our stakeholders, either the markets or from other departments within toom, all those requirements are going through this portfolio project management. And that really, and this we call it PPM as the abbreviation, but in this PPM board, there is sitting experts from the IT, from the different departments. There is our C-level represented. And that helps us a lot to have a really prioritized backlog that we are taking then with us to the IT, and which is of course the biggest part of, or the core of our PI planning and our entire planning rhythm. I think this is one of the biggest changes. Then, of course, the differentiation within the teams, within the DevOps teams and the service teams, and this big collaboration and bringing all them together. I think now we have with SAFe and with this PI plannings, this increments, we have now the chance to see all the dependency and the risk. This is something very new and super helpful, and which makes it very transparent where we are now, how far we get, where the risk or the impediments, where we need to adapt and to find new ways. And that's very important. I think this is the biggest changes, and the reasons why we are now so flexible, so fast. One of my favorite examples is the value-added tax reduction that we had implemented in July, I think it was last year due to COVID, where lucky us, this new Agile organization was already in place, and we were able to really react very fast to those changing requirements, or those requirements that came from stakeholders. I think this is
quite some surprises during the last years.
Yes.
I guess.
That helped us really a lot. We really often think of those examples. I mean, there are all the click and collect and click and reserve and whatever. All those new features are luckily implemented, or we could implement them really good and successful, since we had the basis for those requirements.
Yeah, I can assure you it was. I'm also a toom customer, and I saw the changes myself.
Very good, very good.
And was there certain steps that you took in your transformation, or did they just flow along?
I think similar as you just, or based on what you have just said, is that we really made the decision with the entire team and started then thinking of what do we need. As you just said, we're thinking of the new roles, new responsibilities, the entire new setup, the new framework, and then I think one of the biggest steps is, of course, to bring it to enable the team, to give everyone a chance to take everyone with you and showing them where we want to go and why we want to go there, right?
Yeah, it's a way, a long way, we can say, and
we are not done.
We are not done. Yeah, so we invest. We invest many or much effort to our agile transformation, and with all things you can think on. So it's the enablement of the teams, it's the culture thing. So
I think it's what was also very important is that it's not only the team and it's not only the people within the IT who are going through this transformation. Those are also all the stakeholders. It's the leadership of toom, it's the department, the different department of toom. So all our stakeholders need to understand why they need to go, for example, with their requirements to the PPM board before they come to us, to the IT. So it's not, and we can, I mean, if they come now, we are now currently in one, just started one PI. If they have now a new requirement, we can't say, okay, let's do this as well. We can say them probably in 3 months, but not now. But therefore you get the results and you can plan, and you can plan with us. I think that's also really a change that needs to take place, but we get more and more acceptance. So
great. So would you say that you are agile now? Has everyone pretty much an idea, a mindset that's agile, or where's the fights?
I think that would be very optimistic. So what we are doing is that we try to divide. I mean, I don't know if you know the Agile pyramid, is that pyramid called? Where we define or divide between doing Agile and being Agile. So what I would say, what we can really say, and where I would give my entire commitment, is that the framework is in place. So we're using Scrum, we are working with Kanban, we've talked about SAFe. The methods are in place. We have the Scrum teams, we have the plannings, we have the roles, we have the processes, we have the tools in place. So all of that is something where I would say check. That's of course, it's always, every time when we establish new teams, get new team members, that's all, of course, never ending story. But I would say mission accomplished, that's done. But now we're working on, I mean, the entire time we've been working on that, but now we're working on the being agile, which is for me really adapting the values, the mindset, really getting this intrinsic understanding of what does it mean to be really agile. And there are moments where I would say, yes, absolutely, that's fantastic. It's just in the last PI planning, we've seen teams coming up, presenting results, talking about topics that we haven't seen in the past. Those are the moments where I say, fantastic, cool. That's really, really cool. Or people standing up, talking about what they do, what they not do, that they need something. So this proactivism, that's something that I really think that's a great achievement. But yeah, of course, there are so many other things where you really need time. I think it really needs time to say, I commit really, or I give my entire commitment to something, to talk openly about things that do not work, talking about failures, giving feedback like giving also feedback to someone who was in the past in the hierarchy, kind of higher, giving honest and open feedback. That's something what we can see, but that's not already there. We need to be honest. That's nothing that's entirely, that's nothing that we really live in total. But
yeah, well,
getting there.
and I guess it's a constant change, as you have already mentioned. And I think when you're talking Agile, since after all it's about the people, of course, but then and about the methodology, and Agile doesn't, it's all about the mindset. But of course, you also need tools. We have talked about that before a little bit, and especially when you need to reach hundreds of people, you obviously need tools, and you've been using Jira. And then Agile Hive came along. What was the reason behind you looking into a tool rather than just using Jira? Where was the limitations that you encountered?
Yeah, as we said, that we had one building block. We evolved around the topic of IT platform, and in that context, we decided to implement or roll out Atlassian products with Jira and Confluence. So that was were the first products along our Agile transformation and a part of the new IT platform. And in the whole building block of the road mapping process and linking strategic planning to operational planning, we identified that Jira does not cover all requirements. And after we based our road mapping process on SAFe, so we take a look at SAFe, at LESS, at Scrum at Scale, but at the end, we decide to orientate the road mapping process and our program increment planning process on SAFe. Then we searched for an add-on for Jira, and very able to build a requirement hierarchy. That was an important point. I think another important point is to visualize dependencies and use some additional functions to support the breakouts in the teams or supporting the teams in working together and have some tool support.
Okay, and then obviously you came across Agile Hive. And I suppose it's always implementing new software, rolling it out is a bit of a hassle. How did that play along for you?
First, we started with a proof of concept to review our decision based on theoretical considerations. So we had a software selection process with some key criteria. Price, function, scope, and the integration to Jira, because for us it was important that it is a huge integration in Jira. And after the proof of concept, we decided to implement Agile Hive. And on this basis, the contract was signed, and Cyber took over the configuration of the test of the configuration system.
I remember.
In the course of this, the documentation and know-how transfer took place because that was very important for us because we had an internal service team which takes the responsibility for internal IT software like Jira, Confluence, or Agile Hive, and the team. Or the part of the know-how transfer worked surprisingly well and quickly. So the team and our employees quickly found their way around the management and administration of Agile Hive. And yeah, today the team takes over the role administration and configuration and management of the Agile Hive head-on for Jira. So for us it was the right way to do it with Cybert, and then we with the know-how transfer we take the responsibility for Agile Hive.
Rolling out a new software is always a big thing. So I'm sure there has to be challenges that you faced. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah.
I think, I mean, with every software integration or every implementation, of course, there can be struggles. And I think also we had, I mean, I haven't been part of it, but you told us, or you told me, that of course, as always, you have some performance issues at the beginning. I think that, and they took place, fact. But what I think we need to mention in the same way is that it was really a big help that we had you in the backup, very fast and quick, helping us and understanding what was the issue, what's the problem, and supporting us. So I would say, fact, and with all the transparency, of course, we had the performance problems in the beginning. I think something that we could do better, so we as toom could better in the near future with implementing new features, new facts, is that we take even more time and more effort to enable the team. So what we're currently, for example, doing is establishing a community of practice just around Agile Hive. So where we talk about how can we place Agile Hive in the team, what do we need to do in order to enable the teams and to bring them or show them how easy it is to use or which features are helpful for which role. That's something where I think that's the takeaway for us, that where we say that's something where we need to concentrate on for the next time.
Okay, sounds great.
Anything that I forgot?
I think the challenge for us is to linking save our processes and Agile Hive to the exceptions of the users. So it's a way to use Agile Hive so that I get and can use all functions, all KPIs, all metrics. And then today we see something like 0% for the capacity versus load, or load versus capacity, and so that's we cannot use these metrics because we have a gap between our processes,
the
Safe,
development of
Scrum,
the organization, exactly.
Agile Hive. So it's the development of the organization and the usage of Agile Hive, and
But what I always think is that we have a really good basis where we can now build on, and where we can, with our organization, with our team, with the development of the organization, we can build on tools and technique and processes that are already established. So I think that's. I'm really happy that it's this way and not the way around, that the organization is ready, but we do not have the tool. I think this is something, just as you said, where we now need to find the perfect match.
We believe very strongly in evolving methods and tools at the same time, and having both in the process of getting better, and not going, just one direction and then finding out that there is not the perfect tool, or even the other way around. So it's very good to hear that Agile Hive helps you in your transformation. What would you say is the features that are most valuable for you in your daily life and of your teams?
So I think just saying for me and for the team coaches and not working with the developers on the development of the software, is already seeing the dependencies. So really going through, especially before the planning events, going through the dependencies and seeing, okay, which team need to talk to, or I need to talk with which other team, where the risk, seeing the different levels of dependencies, or something where you say, okay, where we can say, okay, well, let's talk about it in 2 weeks, but then there are other dependencies where you say, no, we need to talk right now, otherwise something will happen. So that's probably for us.
Yeah. I think today that are the same key requirements or must-have requirements from the beginning. So the dependencies and the hierarchy of requirements, because it's central points for us to work on. So the requirement hierarchy is the basis for our work, and user stories and how they are structured. So and then dependencies are the important thing between our teams and the PI planning and coordination of the PI and sprints and so on.
Okay. And then after all, is there anything you're still missing in Agile Hive? What would be your wish list to our team?
I think of a portfolio perspective or program portfolio perspective. We are waiting on extended roadmap functionalities. So for us, it is an important point to get from the one point the portfolio perspective and roadmaps and expected final dates for epics, for capabilities, for features. And so on the other side is the planning of the teams. And so they have also expected an expected finalization date. And so it's is there a match or is there not a match? So that's a central question for us and the portfolio perspective and and so on. Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, great, thank you. And thank you very much for your feedback. I know that you're working closely together with the team of our team at Agile Hive, and your insights are very valuable to evolve the product even further. So I would just say thank you very much for today's talk and for all the insights you gave us, and have a good time transforming, and may it never be boring. And I don't think you're running into that.
100% sure. Nope, it won't get boring. No, thank you so much for coming here to Cologne, for visiting us. And for the time, for the exchange, and looking forward for the future.
Thank you very much.
Vielen Dank für die spannenden Einblicke, Christine und Lukas. Ich poste nochmal für die Teilnehmer hier in den Chat einen Link. Es wäre wirklich super, wenn ihr die Speaker bewerten könntet, wie euch der Vortrag gefallen hat. Und nochmal großes Dankeschön an Christine und Lukas, dass ihr jetzt hier seid, dass ihr mit in die Live-Q&A-Session kommt. Es hat Spaß gemacht zuzuhören. Ich habe noch ein paar Fragen an euch. Wenn ihr da draußen auch noch Fragen habt, stellt sie jetzt in den nächsten Minuten noch in den Chat. Dann könnt ihr die loswerden an die beiden. Erstmal Respekt für den Titel, für den Vortrag. Sehr witzig. Wer ist da drauf gekommen?
Ich glaube, es war sogar ihr, ne? Oder war es unser Kollege? Weiß ich gar nicht, was es war. Also wir saßen tatsächlich zusammen im Briefing und haben überlegt, und ich weiß, also ich war es auf jeden Fall nicht.
Ich meine, es wäre jemand von euch gewesen tatsächlich. Ich glaube, es war so ein bisschen als Witz gemeint eher.
Genau.
Aber wie das dann so häufig ist, irgendwie bei Witzen oder wenn man so ein bisschen weg von der Spur irgendwie denkt und was vorschlägt, genau, haben wir irgendwie plötzlich alle gesagt, oh, der Titel passt irgendwie zum Vortrag und zu uns. Ja.
Cool, auf jeden Fall. Ja, vielleicht war es der Peter. Muss ich ihn mal fragen. Warum habt ihr euch für Agile Hive entschieden? Also es gibt ja auch andere Produkte, es gibt nur Jira. Wo habt ihr gesagt, das ist jetzt die Software, die wir verwenden wollen für unsere Skalierung?
Ich glaube, wir haben erstmal überhaupt gemerkt, dass wir eine Software benötigen für die Skalierung. Ich glaube, das war auch irgendwie eine wichtige Erkenntnis und tatsächlich sehr frühe Erkenntnis in unserem Prozess. Also bevor wir überhaupt Jira und Confluence in Gänze genutzt haben, haben wir festgestellt, dass es nicht ausreicht. Und dann haben wir uns verschiedene Lösungen angeschaut und am Ende war es halt irgendwie so eine Kombination aus der Scope irgendwie für ein Projekt tatsächlich oder für eine Umsetzung, die Funktionalitäten und auch der Preis bzw. Performance, also das Ganze irgendwie in Kombination so als 4 Hauptkriterien war dann so das, was für uns zur Entscheidung für Agile Hive geführt hat. Und gerade was bei uns halt so sehr gut gepasst hat, einfach zu dem Zeitpunkt, aber auch heute noch, ist halt einfach so, sind die Funktionalitäten, die ja im Kern genau das eigentlich abdecken, was wir halt so für den Status quo unserer Skalierung besucht haben und ja heute auch noch benötigen.
Okay. Und ihr habt schon drüber gesprochen, was so die Herausforderungen waren bei der Einführung von Agile Hive. Was waren denn eure größten Herausforderungen bei der Einführung von Safe im Unternehmen?
Also ich denke, es war jetzt grundsätzlich, war es für uns einfach schon sicherlich eine Herausforderung zu überlegen, welches der verschiedensten Framework jetzt tatsächlich das ist, was für uns am besten passt. Wir haben dann viel mit den verschiedensten, also natürlich mit dem Team, mit dem gesamten Team und auch irgendwie unseren Stakeholdern diskutiert und überlegt, geschaut, was andere im Unternehmen machen und haben uns dann schlussendlich für Safe entschieden. Ich glaube, es ist tatsächlich, also wir haben es ja erzählt, wir sind tatsächlich jetzt auch erst seit 1,5 Jahren, seit April 2020 überhaupt so weit, dass wir gesagt haben, okay, wir wollen jetzt wirklich agil arbeiten und irgendwie agil zusammenarbeiten. Das heißt, auch die Entscheidung ist noch relativ frisch und damit einhergehend ist dann natürlich einfach die Gesamtherausforderung, das klassisch agile Mindset in die Köpfe des gesamten Teams zu bekommen. Von daher würde ich jetzt gar nicht sagen, dass es wirklich Herausforderungen sind, die konkret mit Safe zusammenhängen. Das ist, glaube ich, einfach die Theorie und das Verständnis, wie das Framework funktioniert und welche Vorzüge wir daraus ziehen. Aber ich glaube, die Gesamtherausforderung ist nach wie vor einfach Schritt für Schritt das agile Mindset zu festigen und das agile Agieren sozusagen in die Köpfe zu bekommen. Ja.
Okay, das ist auf jeden Fall ein Prozess. Das werdet ihr sicherlich jeden Tag merken. Und ich finde es auch sehr spannend, dass ihr gesagt habt, ihr macht das alleine. Ihr habt jetzt keinen Methodenpartner, der euch bei der Einführung begleitet. Habt ihr mit anderen Unternehmen gesprochen. Auch ein sehr cooler Ansatz. Habt ihr irgendwann während der Transformation einen Punkt gehabt, an den ihr gekommen seid und gesagt habt, so, jetzt gehen wir den richtigen Weg. Das, was wir machen, funktioniert. Es kommt an bei den Mitarbeitern und wir sind hier auf einem guten Weg. Das wird was.
Ja, definitiv. Also ich glaube, das sind die vielen kleinen Aha-Momente sowohl bei den Teams, die wir natürlich dann vor allem durch die Teamcoaches dann wieder gespiegelt bekommen, aber sicherlich auch bei uns Aha-Momente. Also entweder, wie gesagt, in den Einzelnen, in den Dailies, in den Reviews, wo wir merken, dass dann doch plötzlich, aber dann doch Themen präsentiert werden von auch Kollegen und Kolleginnen, wo man wirklich merkt, die sind wirklich stolz auf ihre Arbeit und trauen sich und haben jetzt wirklich den Mut und trauen sich, das auch vor größeren Runden vorzustellen. Das sind so für mich die schönen Momente. Wir haben aber auch, seitdem wir das erste PI-Planning durchgeführt haben, fragen wir eigentlich regelmäßig danach nach Feedback und auch nach einer Note, wie sie das gesamte PI bewerten. Und das sind für uns so kleine, messbare Zahlen, wo wir sehen, wie der Fortschritt ist. Und da hatten wir jetzt zuletzt, die Noten werden stetig besser und jetzt im November mit unserer Bestnote, die wirklich bei einer sehr gut liegt, ist so für uns ein Feedback, dass wir einfach merken, okay, auch diese großen Planungsrahmen, die wirklich viel Zeit und viel Arbeit natürlich einnehmen, also natürlich auch großen Mehrwert stiften, aber das ist, glaube ich, so die spürbarste Veränderung für die Teams, dass auch die angenommen werden. Das gibt uns ein gutes Gefühl dabei und zeigt uns, dass wir da auf dem richtigen Weg sind. Und dann kommen natürlich, und was heißt natürlich, aber Gott sei Dank kommen jetzt auch andere Fachbereiche von Toom auf uns zu und sagen, hey, so wie ihr das macht mit der Planung, das wäre eigentlich auch was für uns. Könnt ihr uns mal erklären, wie wir das machen und was bräuchten wir, damit wir da mitplanen können? Und das ist eigentlich dann, abgesehen davon, dass wir das Commitment vom Team haben, für uns einfach ein tolles Zeichen, dass wir sehen, wir sind wirklich auf dem richtigen Weg, weil wir eben andere damit nicht abschrecken, sondern eher begeistern und die Neugierde wecken, dass sie eben da auch mit uns mitlaufen.
Vielen Dank. Es kam noch eine Frage von der Katrin. Sie fragt, wahrscheinlich richtet sie es auch an uns, kann man Agile Hive auch im Kleinen sinnvoll nutzen? Katrin, du kannst dich gerne jederzeit bei unseren Teams melden. Dann sprechen wir mal darüber, aber vielleicht habt ihr beiden auch nochmal eine Meinung dazu. Ihr habt jetzt Agile Hive für wie viele Nutzer eingeführt?
Ja, wir haben so, glaube ich, 120, 130 Mitarbeiter in der IT, die aktiv damit arbeiten und das nutzen, aber auch in unterschiedlichen Ausprägungen, muss man sagen. Ne? Also gerade so Rollen wie Product Owner, die arbeiten natürlich deutlich mehr auch mit den Funktionalitäten von Agile Hive, entgegen jetzt vielleicht Entwickler aus den einzelnen Teams deutlich weniger mit den Funktionalitäten von Agile Hive in Berührung kommen, sondern da sind halt es dann doch mehr die klassischen Jira-Funktionalitäten. Genau, okay. Und ja, zur Frage, also unsere Einschätzung, ich denke schon, dass man das auch im Kleinen sinnvoll nutzen kann. Also wir haben es ja auch eher, sage ich mal so, wegen den Hauptanforderungen ausgewählt, muss ich sagen. Also gerade Abhängigkeiten visualisieren, eine Hierarchie in den Anforderungen zu haben und halt über 2 Ebenen im Jira Standard, wo es ja dann im Prinzip nur Epic und dann halt eben Stories, Aufgaben oder dergleichen in den Projekten gibt. Ein paar zusätzliche Funktionalitäten natürlich, die dann auch in Richtung Safe abzielen. Man muss halt sagen, dass das eine oder andere schon auf Safe ausgerichtet ist, gerade so was in Richtung Reports oder dergleichen geht. Das heißt, da ist es einfach so, wenn man dann nicht nach Safe arbeitet, und da haben selbst wir ein Thema mit, weil wir dann auch nicht immer 100%ig bei Safe sind, dass dann halt einfach Teile der KPIs, die dort standardmäßig mitgeliefert werden, die eigentlich sehr schick sind, ja, und auch sehr schön dargestellt werden, dann halt nicht brauchbar oder nicht nutzbar für einen sind, wenn man sich halt dann nicht dementsprechend auch nach Safe orientiert.
Okay, vielen Dank für die Einschätzung. Also Katrin, das, was du schreibst, genau die Roadmap, Dependencies, Kapazitäten, das sind natürlich alles Funktionen von Agile Hive. Also schau es dir gerne mal an. Ihr könnt euch jederzeit eine Demo bei uns klicken und es einfach mal austesten. Ja, es gibt gerade aktuell keine weiteren Fragen. Wir sind auch schon am Ende unserer Zeit angekommen. Christine, Lukas, ich danke euch für eure Zeit, dass ihr zum Q&A nochmal hier gewesen seid. Schaut noch in die anderen Vorträge rein, wenn ihr Zeit habt. Und dann verabschiede ich mich von euch und wünsche euch noch einen schönen Tag.
Sehr gerne. Vielen Dank.
Gerne.
Dankeschön.
Ciao.
Tschüss.
Macht's gut. Ciao.